Few people are there who actually motivates me. Whenever I look towards them and whenever I see the way that things they are doing. And today I'm proud to share the success journey of one of that person. Dr. Maria, she's an expert trainer, master trainer, and I followed her a lot on LinkedIn. So she contacted me few weeks back regarding program management. And we are blessed. And thank you, Mr. Abdul Rahim, for such a great effort to share this today with you guys. That few days back, she cleared program management professional exam. I cannot be overjoyed than saying that because the thing is that she's a committed person. She worked so hard with the laser-like focus. Okay, PGMP is important for me. I'm gonna do it. And thank you very much, Dr. Maria, for clearing that for us and making us proud. Why don't you share your journey in your own way, my friend?
Thank you so much for Amir for your kind words. I'm so proud to be a part of your organization and the training material that you provided for me was excellent. My journey was I had first started last year. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do it or not, but then I noticed that the industry trending was changing. You know, the industry was asking more for this PGMP. And so I started my journey with one of a different training institution last year and found that the material started to change and PMI started changing the material, and that training institution didn't have the materials ready for me to be trained on. And so I looked for another training source, and I ran into another training source, and that person had some of the material, but not all of the material. And so I took that training with that person, but was still not satisfied because I still wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know if I can clear, the exam because I don't know where PMI is with this exam and how much got changed. And so one day I saw a YouTube video of Mr. Abdullah with his coaching calls. And it intrigued me because it was similar to something I did when I was doing my PMP with Eileen Ellis, right? I did my PMP with her and she did it the same way as Mr. Abdullah did it, going over the questions, making sure we understand the questions so that we could pick up the right answer, right? And so I said, that's what I want. I'm going to call them. So I found your name, Mr. Amir, somewhere. I forget where I found it. I found your number and I decided to give you a call. So I called you and you were very nice to talk to me and tell me what you had, what you can provide me. And so I examined that. And initially it was just doing the simulators. But then once I was talking to Mr. Abdullah, he told me, no, you may want to take the course. It doesn't seem like, you have enough to pass. And so I decided to take the course with your company. And I was so amazed at how the material was presented to me with the visuals. I was able to pick up the material information quickly because I understood it quickly. Yes, I had to study and everything, but became the workflow of understanding became much smoother and easier to understand rather than somebody just pushing information on me. So I was able to pick up and learn the material fairly quickly, especially your book that I purchased, which is the PGMP booklet with the summary of the PGMP information, was excellent. I gotta commend you guys. You did a great job on that book. It was fabulous.
Thank you.
Um, so once I did the studying, I did the simulators, I did the mock exams that you guys put together. I started building my confidence. I had 100%, maybe 200% support from Mr. Abdullah. He kept calling, checking on me, making sure I was staying on top of my study habits, which I was. And thank God he did that because I don't know if I would have passed because you need to keep the study habit going day after and day in and day out. So we booked my exam for November 30th. Sorry, October 30th. And that day came. I was nervous. I went into the exam and I did the exam. I waited a little bit before I submitted it. I got a little nervous because I wasn't sure if I passed. I submitted it and it said congratulations. And I was so happy. I couldn't tell you how happy I was just to get it over with, and just happy that your program was the best program I found out there so far.
Thank
Not
you.
exaggerating, it's the truth. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for saying
Yeah.
that. And we cannot be more honored than this, that the way you are saying it, how we are able to get these things done and what were the work into that way. Okay. Mr. Sami, please go ahead. What are the questions you have? Please.
Yes, first of all, Dr. Maria, I would like to say that her dedication and focus on understanding the concepts is motivational for all of us. Some of the students, they say that we are here only to pass the exam, but the way we worked together, we had multiple coaching calls together, we went into the depth of everything. And I think from the exam point of view, especially for the PGMP, that's why it is still the most prestigious certification. In the exam also they really check your concepts, not only remembering or cracking any other thing.
Mm,
So that was the most important aspect, that we work together and we learn together.
mm,
So Dr. Maria, about that thing, like you already mentioned, first to do the chapter wise questions means you understand the domain wise, and then we go to the mocks. Is it okay, or can we jump, somebody can, or we can jump directly to the mocks? What is your opinion to understand the flow of the concepts?
Right. So no, I didn't jump directly to the mocks, but you did tell me to take the mocks as a baseline and then compare it after we did the study to see how far apart, how much studying I need to do actually, right? So that was like a measurement, the metrics of what I need to do. And it was so far and in between. I mean, it's a big gap. And so doing the mocks were just showed me from the beginning, the baseline showed me how much work I needed to do before I could get that 100%, to get to 100%.
mm. Okay. 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 So a very important thing that I love to ask you, since you are the part of the community, and the community that me and Abdul Rahim has, and now we are honored to have you as a part of that community. How important it is, especially when you are preparing for such certification, to have such kind of community to support and work with you.
The community was just fabulous. I mean, everyone in the group that was in my group or some other group, we all joined into a community conversation, whether it was on the web or whether it was through a chat system. We all engaged and we shared information and we gave feedback to each other for support. So it was super helpful to have that. Yes, it's needed. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How important, yesterday you attended one of the coaching call and you gave back to the community. Now you are helping the mantra of each one, teach one here. So how important those question answer session, those coaching calls are for your evaluations?
Well, first thing I want to just tell you that for the ECO on the PGMP, the way I went about it was I had to structure it because people are asking, right? So the way I structured it was I made a column of what, I made another column of how, and a column of why. And I created a spreadsheet and I broke up the ECO and
Mhm,
put
mhm,
each part in those columns so that I can remember it
mhm,
quickly and it will resonate.
mhm,
And also, I told the group that I also recorded it. So once I made the spreadsheet, I would record the what, how, why for each task so that I can remember it. I recorded it so that I can listen to my voice, right? and so it would stay in my long-term memory. So it was very helpful, and a lot of students agree that it was a good idea.
Mm. Okay, okay, that is great. That is great. Yes, Mr. Sami.
Yes, and Dr. Maria, like mostly the PGMPs, whoever are taking, they are full busy professionals, and they say that we have less time. They are fully occupied. They are seat level stakeholders. So, and I would always say that consistency is the key. Even you read one day, one page every day, but you have to do it. So how do you feel the follow up is important to keep the people on track to study every day?
It's organizing your time management. That's how I did it. I just made it a point that I would put it on my calendar, and I have Alexa, whatever thing you have, whether it's Alexa or something else, I have Alexa that's connected to my calendar in Google Calendar. And every day that Alexa would tell me, it's time for you to study. And that's what I did. I stopped everything and I shut off my phone and everything. And I went and studied, whether it's a half hour, an hour, just put it on the calendar, put it in the morning, put it at night, whatever fits into your schedule, but just put small increments. That's how I did it. Small increment of time on your calendar and get it done. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to really succeed. You need to study and you need to do the mock exams and you need to review the visuals and everything. So it needs to be scheduled into your daily life in order for you to pass the exam. Plus, it's not just passing the exam like you mentioned. It's something, it's a learning, it's knowledge. And then when you go on the job or you go through an interview, you're able to talk very intelligently because you know what program management is.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, okay. Let's talk about two important things. We'll go to one by one. Last week preparation plan. And now this is very important. Like
Mhm.
PGMP is not like PMP. PGMP is a big thing.
Right.
You have a lot of things. So how did you plan for the last week and then last day? So can you break it down for me?
I put 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night. I went through the mock PDFs that you provided. I did the blue background questions and I did the simulators all that week, right before that week happened, right before the exam. That's what I did.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
it's not, people have to understand the questions are the questions, right? They're not the same in the exam. They're going to phrase it different. It's going to be a different scenario. That's why it's very important to learn the concept. You want to learn the concept so that you're confident and you know whatever question they give you, you know how to answer it.
Hmm. Okay. Whatever
Mhm.
the question they do, we always have to understand how they answer. A very important thing, and I have seen many people prepared very good, but on the exam day they broke it down. How to mention the exam day tension, and actually when you are giving the exam, how to manage your emotions and things like that on that day.
Right. So Mr. Abdullah told me when you step into the exam, just sit there for a few minutes. Don't even start it
Mhm.
because you're already nervous, right? He said, sit there for whatever it is, because you didn't start the exam yet, 10 minutes, whatever, and just relax. And that's what I did. I just sat there and I said, I'm not going to start it. I relaxed. I had my paper work that they give you, a blank sheet.
Mhm.
Whatever I needed, I wrote it down on that sheet, which I did. I wrote, the power grid is what I put on there so I wouldn't forget it. And then once I was relaxed, I started the exam, which brings you to the tutorial. And so the
Mhm.
tutorial is very important. You cannot skip it. You cannot sit there and just let the time end, because then you will not pass your exam. That's what I was told when I went into the exam. They said you
Mhm.
have to do the tutorial. The tutorial has information that says you are going to be in compliant with the rules and regulations of this exam and that you will not talk about the exam. And so you have to agree to those terms and agreements and then move forward.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdul Rahim. Anything from your side?
Yes. And one thing now, you are in the exam center, and then most of the students get confused about the breaks. But as we know that there are no scheduled breaks in the exam, this is straight 240 minutes with 170 questions. So what will be your advice to manage the time within those 240 minutes? And then at the end, once you have marked some questions for review, what is your opinion? Because you are already experienced by giving so many PMI exams, you are PMP, RMP, and Agile. What will your advice for all the students how to control your emotions or feelings within those allotted 4 hours or 3 hours of your exam?
Right. Unless you really need a break, I would advise not taking it. And that, unless you really need it, because everyone I talked to said they had 40 to 30 minutes left. And then with those 40 and 30 minutes, if you want to review, you're not going to have enough time. Also, in America, they told me that if you take the break, the process is like this. The people come in, you have to raise your hand. They come in, they're the ones that stop the system, not me. I don't do it. They come in, they they not stop it, but they put it in a state where the clock is still going, but the exam is closed, that so no one can touch it, right? And then if I want to come back into the exam, I have to get re-authenticated. Means they have to check my hands, my ID, because they want to make sure I'm still the same person, I'm not a different person. So waste a lot of time. I'm just giving everybody a heads up, wastes a lot of time. That's in America. I don't know what they do in other countries. And then they have to log you back in so that you can continue the exam. So that's a lot of time that's going by. It's
Hmm.
not you get up, you can leave,
Hmm.
or you can stop, put the exam on hold. That's not allowed.
Hmm. That's a very important thing that every country has their own way, but this is the standard procedure. Like I have given exam in Bahrain, I have given exam in Gulf, UAE, I have given exam in Pakistan, and now recently in US. Every country has their own procedure, but this is a standard thing. When you go out, they check. Like I was wearing a hoodie, they asked me to like, make
Yeah.
this get the pockets out. So yeah, that is an important thing. If you have time and if you need a break, then go for a break. Otherwise, no need to go for that break. That's a very important thing. Thank you, Dr. Maria. Anything else that you want to share with anyone, whatever you would like to share?
I just want to thank you, Amir, and Mr. Abdullah for the great job that you guys have done. I'm glad that you're even around as a company to provide the training the way you have. This is excellent. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed it a lot. It's very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdurrahim. Thank you, Dr. Maria.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank you.
I wish you best of luck, both of you. And yeah, let's keep moving forward. Now, just to end this thing, if Dr. Maria can do it. She's 52 program management and with 100% success record. I'm sure, guys, whoever is watching, you can